seeding. I have a lot of fun. This new potting bench has been awesome. We've been using it every single day, especially the little ones. They're like obsessed with seeding now. So come on, let's go have some fun and start seeding today. I got a fun variety. We've got pumpkin on a stick. It's new for me. My favorite thing to use when I'm seeding are the seeding trays. I get these from my dad, but you can get them on Gardeners or Grower Supply or Amazon. Amazon may be a little more expensive, but I really like these. And because this size does not fit in a Ziploc to create my germination chamber, which I'll show you in a minute, I actually go ahead and I cut them down in different sizes to fit certain varieties, and it just depends on how many seeds are, you know, in a packet. And now I've got a nifty little dirt bucket here, so I feel pretty lucky. So I've got my seeding soil in here. I love using the Jolly Gardener. You could use, you know, like a Miracle Grow or Sun Grow, anything. I just really like using the seeding mixture by Jolly Gardener. So I'm just gonna plop my tray right in there and just kind of cover it up. There we go. And then we're just going to skim it off on top, nice. All right, now we're ready to go. Just so you guys know, there is not just one way of doing things. Some people like to start off with a wet soil from the beginning. I actually like to start off with my soil dry and then seed it and then water it. So just so you know, like I said, you do it your way or you can try my way, whatever one you want. Either way, it grows, so that's all that matters, right? All right, like I promised you guys, we are going to be doing some pumpkin on a stick. If you've never heard of pumpkin on a stick, like I never heard of it until I started seed shopping. If you've never heard of it, it actually looks like pumpkins on a stick, and it's actually an eggplant. So I'm really excited to try it. I know Jason likes eggplant. I'm not always a huge fan, but I always love trying new things. I never like not try anything unless it's seafood. That's a no-no, right, Jason?
Yeah, unfortunately for me.
When I'm seeding, I always like to use a bowl or a dish, real light in color. Helps me seed a lot easier, see all the seeds, and work with the seed. Since I've never seeded pumpkin on a stick before, I actually use the back of the packet as kind of a nice little reference. It says that it doesn't like to get covered, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and place one seed on top of every little cell here. I always keep one of the packets just so I know what I've already seeded. The eggplant seed said that they didn't need to be covered, so at this point you'd be good to go ahead and really lightly water, just very lightly, so you don't splash the seeds out of there. That would be not good. But I'm going to do exactly what I did with the snapdragons, especially since now I see that they're popping up really nice. I'm going to go ahead and finely, very, very finely, top dress them with a little bit of vermiculite. As you can see, I'm not really covering them. I'm almost just adding the vermiculite to there. So the whole reason for vermiculite is to retain moisture in the soil so it doesn't dry out super easy, and that way the seed doesn't dry out, because as soon as your seed dries out, it is done for. There's no returning, no coming back from that. And that's it. The vermiculite trick I learned from my dad, and that has been probably the one trick that has really helped create my seedlings to germinate super well, because there's times, I mean, come on, let's be real, we all live in busy lives. There could be some times where maybe we don't miss or remember to water a seedling or fresh seeds. So that way, if the soil gets a little dry with that vermiculite, it really holds and retains that moisture, and it doesn't dry out as quickly for you. My dad, he's a farmer, he's owner of Wayne's Daughters Greenhouses, and he's the head seeder there. So any tip or trick that he can give me on seeding, I'll take it. So the next step is watering. I always bring it over to the sink. You always want to make sure that your water's on really, really low, like this. So that way you go over it really fast. So you're not drenching it right off the bat. You're kind of just getting so that the soil sets in there. So then when you go to water it a little bit more, Little higher pressure, not much though. That way your seed is not being thrown out of the dirt. What I also make sure to do is that the soil's all the way wet all the way through. Once I'm done watering it, I let it sit here and drip dry just a little bit. This is where the Ziploc comes in. It's my homemade germination chamber. Super affordable, because we know gardening can be expensive, especially if you have as big of an addiction as I do, right, Jason?
Yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Lawrence Network.
So all we're gonna do is place the tray inside. There we go. And now I'll show you the next step. With the Ziploc bag, you wanna go through and create just a few aeration holes, because without holes, you know, it needs air. Everything needs air. So not a ton though. I'll show you why. Just a few. This will kind of help with the condensation. So now we got some of those little holes in there. The next step is a cheap toothpick. Hey, you can't go wrong. Everyone's got some of these on hand for something. I'm gonna kind of put that inside of the bag and place that toothpick on the very last row of seedlings. And place it there, and I'm going to do a couple more so that way it holds the plastic up off of the seeds. Okay, that's actually good. The two's fine. So for now, this is how it's going to stay. Since it's the first day seeding it, I'm not going to worry about holding it up too high. For right now, you kind of want to keep it low so you get just a little bit of condensation in there. You're creating a germination chamber, so you need that moisture in there, in that hot heat. So we're gonna put it right in front of that sun so it heats up like a greenhouse. And then as soon as you start seeing big drips of water, that's what you don't want. You want it to almost get there, but not get there. So as soon as it gets there, that's when you wanna make sure that this area here is open more. So that way you get more of an airflow inside to kind of dry it out a little bit, but yet it's still humid like a nice little greenhouse. Like I said, there's so many different ways of seeding, but this has been my way for quite a while now, and it just is always good. I always have germination, and I always have great plants with the way I do it, and I just figure, you know what? Why not share with you guys how I do it, since I have, you know, good luck with it. I'd also like to share another really affordable tip on how to label your plants. I always love painter's tape. We always have this on hand because we're big DIYers. We like to take on projects. So what I'm going to do is just use the painter's tape, use a Sharpie, and write the variety name on the tape. And then we're going to take our little nifty toothpicks again. All we're going to do is put the tape close to the top, fold it in half, and there you have it. A quick little tag. Easy and affordable. It's something anyone can duplicate. It's things everyone has on hand, so why not? So now it's time to put it in front of the window and let it do its thing. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'm going to have to.
There's no more room over there.
I'm going to have to make room. You know what? This would be good in the grow light system. Since it's already got plants growing up, I'll go put it in the grow light system. Now that we've got it upstairs, we're just going to go ahead and clean it. And now that some of my seeds are popping, I like to put them under the grow light so they get uniform growth. That way also they don't get little straggly stems, and they'll just make them a lot healthier. So now we're just going to test them out. We're going to make sure the bulbs work here. Those work, so we're good there. Okay. I think we're going to put an order in for a couple extra bulbs anyways on Gardeners. This is where we got it. We love it. It grows amazing plants. If you go there, you can take a look at what they got, and it was definitely worth every single penny. It stayed beautiful, it looks nice, it's sturdy. And what I love most is once you grow indoors your seedlings, and then it's time to go ahead and plant them outside, you have to start hardening them, which means bringing them outside for a couple hours every single day before planting them outside, because you don't want to put them into what's called shock, which could cause them to wilt and die. So what's really nice about this is the wheels. As we're starting to harden off our plants, we actually just roll this right outside, let it sit out for 1 to 2 hours, and then we bring it right back inside, so that way it makes it easy from transferring your new plants indoors and outdoors for the next few days of hardening. Since these seedlings are already up, I don't like them to sit in front of the window for too long, otherwise they start stretching and become kind of leggy. So because they'll be under the grow lights, if they're underneath the grow lights, then they get a better, oh, I gotta plug it in. Then they'll be able to get a better plant on them. And then what you're gonna wanna do, whoop, you're gonna wanna lower it. You usually only want it about 4 inches above your seedlings. I mean, there's many ways of doing it, but that's the way I've always done it, and it works for us. We end up with great plants. So now I have room, so that's a good thing. That means I can keep seeding. And there we go. Pumpkin on a stick, y'all. Once the seedlings pop up this much, that's when I take them out of the Ziploc container. If you left them in there any longer, then they would stretch from all the humidity and then they would be shot. This morning there was nothing popping out of this tray, so I want to show you something. There are a lot that are popped up here, so we had to take them out of the germination chamber so that way they don't stretch. I have quite a few seeds and different varieties already started, so if there was anything that said that it needed 8 to 10 weeks before the last frost, that's done. Now I'm going to be moving on to the seeds that say that they need to be seeded 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost. That concludes my seeding session of the day, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to subscribe to the Lauren's channel. Feel free to put some thumbs up if you like it. All right, thank you so much. Have an awesome day.